Hello StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between MajOr and Kelazhur on King Sejong Station, the latter edition. In the top left side of the map we have the blue Terran player, it is MajOr. And in the bottom right side of the map we have the red Terran player, it is Kelazhur. Alright, so two Terran players who are very excellent and have won games on my channel very recently. And this is your weekly TBT mirror match, or, you know, semi-weekly, every 2 weeks or so. Alright, so those of you who are fans of this matchup, this is for you. Looks like MajOr's going to go ahead and open up a Reaper first here, and Kelazhur, I don't know. That gas seems a little bit late for a Reaper. But we'll see. It's a weird place for your barracks for MajOr. I don't know why he's hiding it over here instead of walling off against a potential scout, but I suppose maybe he's hoping a worker scout won't see this, or a scan will fail to see it. Either way, he's hiding some stuff, where Kelazhur's being a little bit more standard on this front here. So again, MajOr should have plenty of gas for a Reaper by the time this barracks finishes, and Kelazhur will. I don't know that Kelazhur will. I always feel like I'm off on these timings. I need to actually pay attention to what the numbers are here when they go for what particular building, but either way, it looks like, okay, so Kelazhur does have enough for that Reaper. He's got that 50 gas. And do you have a Reaper? We have our Reaper. So that's Reaper number 1 and Reaper number 2. Oh, 2 Reaper names off the list today. That's good. That is a good thing to see. All right. Where's my list? Come on, list. You're in here somewhere. Okay, so Kelazhur's Reaper, ironically enough, because I think he's from Brazil, isn't he? Is going to be Uncle Sam. Uncle Sam the Reaper, and his opponent is Bellamy. Bellamy, the Reaper out of MajOr. MajOr's not American either, so this is really difficult to go with an Uncle Sam with either one. Kelazhur's SCV is messing with the SCV of MajOr that's trying to build its command center and actually forces him off. Immediately comes back though, recognizing his Reaper is out at any moment now, and he is to defend the honor and the life of this blue SCV, building the expansion for MajOr. And Kelazhur's Reaper Bellamy, or MajOr's Reaper Bellamy, is heading out, while Uncle Sam also heading up. They meet right in the middle here. Kitty 8 charge being tossed down. Neither player wants to get hit by that, so they dodge. They dodge immediately. Kelazhur pushing the issue. MajOr pulling back just a little bit. He doesn't really feel comfortable going Reaper versus Reaper, mano a mano in that style. SCV for MajOr's chasing this SCV from Kelazhur all the way home, and he's going to die. And the SCV knows it. Bam. Gets killed. I think he might have seen the reactor coming up on this barracks for Kelazhur, which is pretty good information. Meanwhile, Factory already landing on the completed reactor for MajOr here. MajOr's got double Hellions coming out here. Kelazhur has a couple Reapers, so that's why his is a little bit delayed. He's got 2 Reapers running around in weird spots. Why are you coming back here, Kelazhur? Are you looking for proxy stuff? He might be looking for proxy stuff. Hops back into his own main base and swings around again. Did he scan? Did not see. I don't know if he scanned and didn't see what he wanted to see, and he's worried about a proxy, but there's nothing. There's no proxy or ninja anything for MajOr. He's playing pretty straight up, except for the fact that he placed his buildings kind of along the left bottom side of his base instead of in more traditional locations. And there's the scan by Kelazhur. He sees everything. He sees everything now. He sees the starport going onto that tech lab, which means Banshee. Which means Banshee for MajOr. Kelazhur should throw down a missile turret or 2, possibly. Oh, it's a Raven, actually. Alright, so Raven in this TBT should be fairly interesting. Bit of a push here with a couple Hellions and a Reaper by MajOr at the front door of Kelazhur, but there's a bunker with 3 Marines on the inside and a couple of Reapers. I don't know if that's breakable. I don't know if that's breakable by MajOr with what he has. So he's holding back a little bit. He's got a couple more Hellions coming on down. Is there any armory, any sign of Hellbats here for MajOr? No sign of Hellbats whatsoever. More and more Hellions being produced. Not reproduced, and Bellamy gets killed. The Reaper from MajOr gets inside the mineral line for Kelazhur here. I don't think he got any kills though. Workers killed by MajOr. Oh, got some more. Ah, here we go, back here. There was an attack back there. Let's back up just a little bit. We were looking at some other stuff. Yeah, 4 Hellions walk right past that bunker. One of them gets killed. The Hellions roasting up some SCVs here, fighting for their own lives, pinning the Hellions inside, and the Marines finish them off. Good micro there by Kelazhur. They had to sacrifice their bodies a little bit there, but it worked out. 4 workers killed by MajOr, and missile turrets are coming up for Kelazhur, so he thinks it might be Banshee as well. I'm not crazy for assuming it was Banshee, but it is in fact Raven, which is more of a defensive unit, more used in conjunction with other stuff than you'll see with straight up Banshee play, just going out there and killing stuff alone. Third command center under construction for a Major. No sign of a third for Kelazhur yet. He is getting stim for his Marines, though. He's getting a couple medevacs, so a more standard bio play out of here for Kelazhur, and what looks like to be fairly mechish for Major. He only has one barracks and a factory and a starport. Is he supply blocked? Major, are you okay? He is supply blocked. He's got a supply depot finishing just right now. Okay, good, good. He did get that one. And Hellions for Major just kind of all over the map, trying to see what they can do. Kelazhur pushing out with 2 medevacs full of Marines. This might be difficult for Major to deal with. He's got a tank playing defense here at this natural base. That's good. He's got a bunker with a couple Marines in it, and more Marines being produced all the time. He's continuing to double pump them. Is he supply blocked again? Kind of. He was, just for a second there. But here comes the drop from Kelazhur, and dropping the Marines right on top of that tank. SCV's coming in to fight as well. Tank does get taken down immediately. There's the pickup. There's the boost out of Viking, trying to take out those medevacs. Can do it as long as there's no boost. Oh, the auto turret takes out one of the medevacs full of Marines there. Nice job by Major, using that Raven immediately for good use. And Kelazhur swinging back around, back towards Major's base. Maybe trying to get some more stuff done with the 7 Marines that she's got in there. Dropping them, healing them up. I was going to say they're pretty darn low on HP right now. Third base under construction by Kelazhur at the traditional place for a third. And Major actually making his command center into an orbital command before he flies that over to that potential third. Kelazhur's waiting for it to fly over, though, with his Marines and his medevac. I think that's why he positioned them where he did. Major's getting +1/+1 for his bio, continuing to make Vikings, continuing to make tanks, making SCVs as well. It's 45 to 45 harvesters, so even. So darn even it is. Barracks coming up. So Major's transitioning into more of the bio play. He's got a flying tank, he's got Marines, he's got Vikings, he has Ravens. And that should be pretty good. I mean, pretty similar to what Kelazhur is doing. But I don't know, I like the position, I like the choice of getting the Raven. And the flying tank is pretty good as well. I'm not sure that Kelazhur is actually making tanks. He's not. He's got Marines, Marauders, medevacs, and that's it. That is it. So he's going to try to fly into this natural base once again, but there are Vikings just waiting for this. Immediately, 2 shots on that medevac, and Kelazhur unloads, saying, I can't lose these medevacs with these units inside. That would be a terrible experience. I'm going to try to avoid doing that. More tanks. Oh, Kelazhur actually making that tank. Okay, so he not going to abandon tanks altogether. He is making a few of them here, and then just a lot of barracks back home. A bit of a drop here by Kelazhur in the main base, trying to talk down an engineering bay, but getting tank splashed in the face by a tank sitting in the mineral line for Major, playing defense just as he wants to. And Kelazhur with a bit of a staging area on this potential 4th base that leads down the ramp, then up the ramp again to Major's natural. So he's going to go down the ramp, maybe? He's thinking about going down the ramp. Armory coming up for Major. He's got stim pack, he's got combat shield, and infantry weapons at level 1. Just about complete. There's the completion for Major. So his upgrades are good. Right now he's got that +1/+1, and Kelazhur has the +1 with armor level 1 being researched now, but not actually anywhere close to finished. 25 out of 114 in-game seconds there. Another drop back here with Marines on top of this tank. The Vikings getting rid of the medevac, but the Marines are still a bit of a problem. Although the army from Major shows up and takes them down. Auto turret clearing it out, and then explodes. So Kelazhur still checking for a third, not seeing one. Has to feel good about that, because his third base is up and running. It is established. He's got 10 SCVs here. He's getting gas from it. He's muling from it as well. So either Major needs to make a significant push to take out that base from Kelazhur, or he needs to land his own command center, and he is. He's landing his orbital command center now, flying it over, and then maybe he'll start muling at some point. How much energy does this thing have? 65, so he's been using it either for scans or for mules for most of the game, which is fantastic. Is he supply blocked again? Major? Major, what is going on? How are you so supply blocked throughout this game? He's making more supply depots, but I don't know if he's just forgetting. But it's 109 to 136 total supply. Kelazhur has that lead, and I have to imagine it has to be from the supply block that Major is experiencing here. He's supply blocked again. Well, 122 out of 125 now, and making no more command centers, no more supply depots to remedy that. Major, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know where his head is at, but I feel like Kelazhur has a nice lead just based on the fact that he is... Oh, now he's supply blocked too. Kelazhur, I was going to talk you up, man. I was going to talk about your amazing not getting supply block skills, and then you get supply blocked at 149 supply. Kelazhur moving in to assault this third base. There are tanks in great position, some Marines and tanks pretty much just Marine take Viking here. Oh, they get a medevac too. The Vikings take a medevac out with the Marines not in position to defend it. It's tough to attack directly into tanks like this. A drop, another drop. Tank and Marines here inside the natural base and gonna get taken down fairly quickly. Vikings getting rid of that medevac, and the army moves in to the third base while most of the army is gone. The tanks for Major pick up and retreat. Tanks are in firing motion on that refinery. Take it down immediately. Are they close enough? Yes, they're close enough to hit the orbital command as well. Can Major save this thing? It's 144 to 146 total supply. Marines trying to push in. They take care of the one tank that Kelazhur had at the front. He's still got two in the back, but they're not really in range to do much of anything right now. And Kelazhur decides it is time to retreat and time to head on home. 59 to 68 harvesters. Kelazhur has a nice lead there. Working on +2 infantry weapons and just starting infantry armor level 2. Almost complete our +2/+2 for Major's biological units. Sensor tower is up for Major right at that natural base. That's a great place for it. Really allows him to see most of what Kelazhur is trying to do. And Major pushing with Marines, with Vikings, takes that fourth base. Well, at least establishes the high ground there, and he's trying to get as many of these medevacs as possible. Can't quite do it, though, with the Vikings. They're staying with the Marines. Tanks are landing in places where they think of strategic, or they think will be strategically important, but nope. Kelazhur swinging back around here. I think he's going to go for an assault on the third base once again. Tanks on the high ground, though, splashing on top of everything. Vikings trying to go for those medevacs. Marine versus Marine. The upgrades are pretty darn even. Yes, +1 and +2. Reinforcements from Major. The defender's advantage really coming into play here. Taking out a couple of Vikings. Tanks getting exploded as well. I think that SAV got in on that action too, taking out a siege tank. And Kelazhur is forced to retreat. It's 152 to 139 total supply. Resources lost 6,600 for Kelazhur and 5,100 for Major. All right, so how are we doing this thing? Major has a single Marine scouting the presence of Kelazhur's army heading north, and he does. He successfully scouts that. That's exactly what his intention was. +2/+2 for the Marines for Major, +2/+1 for the Marines for Kelazhur. Slight advantage for Major right now. Kelazhur, his +2 is about 40 seconds from completing, though, so if he can hold off on any major engagements until that's done, I think it would be good for him. I really do. Both players just scanning incessantly right now. Scans are good. Getting that information is wonderful. Both players are working on that +3 biological unit attack upgrade for their guns. You know, makes them shoot fire instead of other things. A bit of a drop back here by Major inside the main base for Kelazhur, dropping with the Marines, with the stim, with the combat shield. Some Marines coming and try to defend for Kelazhur. Not going very well for them, though. SCV is forced to come in and try to defend as well, but no, Major decides to pick up and retreat. He doesn't like the defense that Kelazhur mounted, which is 3 Marines, a bunch of SCVs, and a Marauder. I think you can handle this, especially with medevac support. SCVs giving their lives to hopefully give their army units some time, but not doing as well. Tank shows up for Kelazhur, though, and that's it for Major's forces. Another push up towards the north, towards that third base from Kelazhur. Can he get it? The orbital command was not repaired for Major. He might lose it here if he's not careful. Pushing right on in, stimming forward, running for its life, but no, the third base explodes and falls before Major can even try to repair it. Major coming in to the third base of Kelazhur, returning the favor, trying to take out this army, but there are responding units from Kelazhur. With Marines getting one of the medevacs. There's still a medevac with 4 Marines left for Major, trying to fly possibly into the main base here. Kelazhur was pulled back entirely to try to defend that third, but it seems a little bit unnecessary. I think he probably could have pushed his advantage. Medevac with 9 hit points, flying around the dead airspace behind Kelazhur's main base. And if he tries to come out, it could be a bad experience, I'm going to say here. Command Center upgrading to a planetary fortress for Kelazhur for a 4th base, which is very nice. And meanwhile, Major still doesn't have a 3rd. He's trying to reconstruct it, and it's just now finishing, but I think he's behind. I think he's behind pretty amazingly. 60 to 59 harvesters is not that bad for Major. Let's see, where's our workers killed? 12 and 12. Very even for both of those players, interestingly enough. Major with Marines, with Vikings in the air. Big time battle right here. Marines, Marauders versus mostly Marines for Major. The tanks on the back for Kelazhur are still alive. Tanks on the high ground for Major having better positioning, though. Really splashing off that high ground and forcing Kelazhur back. I think that was a stalemate. I don't think anybody won that battle particularly. Vikings trying to get rid of medevacs. They get rid of 1 before the Marines for Kelazhur can respond here. Tanks landing on the low ground within range of Kelazhur's tanks. Oh, that's never good. +1 attack, +1 vehicle weapons has been researched for both of these players. And Kelazhur trying to do what he can against the Viking, getting 2 of them taken out of the sky. That Viking really wants to get one of these wounded medevacs. 13 and 20 hit points, getting repaired though by Kelazhur's SCVs being pulled from that 4th base. Trying to land a new 4th of his own. Here's MajOr, so he's trying to keep up with Kelazhur, doing a fairly good job of it. Somebody did suggest in a cast earlier this week that I use the word fairly a lot, which is true. New drinking game possibly. MajOr, I don't know how he's going to do with this particular engagement. The tank count for MajOr is definitely helping him there here. The positioning, excellent as well. He just keeps losing his bio. He's got 23 Marines to 47 of Kelazhur's. Reinforcing Marines possibly on the left side, getting destroyed. Why are you down here, MajOr? I don't know. It's looking like a snowball effect for Kelazhur, though. He is in a great position. He has more bases. Okay, the same number of bases. MajOr has established his 4th. Flying right on in with some medevacs, and they are going to get destroyed. Dropping Marines on top of everything, then trying to force his way through his Kelazhur, but no, gets pushed back once again. Just outside that 4th base from MajOr. Don't go. What are you doing, Kelazhur? Kelazhur tries to make a suicide march with Marines and just getting absolutely obliterated on the ground. Just not going to work. 30 to 31 Marines now. MajOr evening that score quite a bit. +2 Terran vehicle weapons is on the way for Kelazhur. MajOr continuing to make Vikings, recognizing how useful they are in this match, extending the vision range of the tanks, because tanks can shoot farther than they can see by themselves. So if medevacs are tank spot for them, they can shoot a little bit more effectively. Marines over here for MajOr, trying to do some stuff to prevent possibly a 5th base landing for Kelazhur along this right side, but no, it's going to land. The Marines were taken down largely by SCVs, so very brave SCVs to do that one. So both players on +3/+3 for their bio. Got those upgrades done. It's 172 to 156 total supply. Kelazhur possibly trying to fly around and find an angle in which to attack that 5th base. Doesn't want to attack directly into Kelazhur's army. Kelazhur responding, unsieging his tanks, bringing his Marines to the right, and tanks are already set up for MajOr, absolutely wrecking through that bio once again. Once again, tanks getting too close for Kelazhur, getting destroyed here. A small attack of Marines at the 3rd base by MajOr. Oh, this might be a huge play for Kelazhur. Marines coming up to defend against it from MajOr, and he does manage to actually clean it up fairly handily. Another big battle. SCVs running for their lives from Kelazhur, and MajOr pushed on in. Oh, we got to go back and see that one too. This multitasking of these guys is amazing. So MajOr does actually force a liftoff at this 5th base from Kelazhur, and he gets the orbital command as well. SCV is forced to retreat, so yeah, he lost some workers here at his 3rd base, but he was able to stop that 5th base from happening from Kelazhur. MajOr might win this thing. 55 to 46 workers. Kelazhur has the lead. He does have the lead. Planetary Fortress here from Kelazhur at that 4th base, and not super well defended. There are some tanks and some Marines here, but I don't know if it's enough. No, the flying tanks getting focused down by the Vikings of MajOr. Kelazhur losing a lot there. Medevacs taken down. How many medevacs are left? 3 medevacs only for Kelazhur. And the Planetary Fortress gets 4 kills of its own. It's down to 184 hit points. Can MajOr push in there and take it down? The mass repair by Kelazhur, and the rocks get knocked down by Kelazhur on this angle that MajOr's trying to attack from. Oh, he saves the Planetary Fortress. What a save. Moving over on this way is MajOr to get rid of this 5th base by Kelazhur that he has reestablished with a brand new orbital command, and he has no defense for it. Unfortunately, there's nothing here, and the 5th base has been destroyed. MajOr's 4th, though, under assault by Kelazhur. Once again, bunch of Marines show up. No medevac support for the defending Marines for MajOr here, and there is a medevac in the sky from Kelazhur, but it flies away, and MajOr wins that more handily than I expected. He defends his 4th base with aplomb. Just excellent move. 154 to 94 total supply. MajOr is looking really good right now. His tanks are strong. He has 8, but Kelazhur has 12. It's 54 to 15 Marines, though. The Marine count, very important in this matchup. And MajOr has that win. Can he do it? A lot of tanks for Kelazhur right now. A lot of tanks. Not many Marines, though, as I just mentioned there. So both players on 4 bases, both players a little bit mineral starved, having a hard time here at the 18-minute mark to make this thing work. Siege tank harassing this mineral line at the 4th for Kelazhur, also getting that Planetary Fortress direct. Vikings for MajOr sitting over the army of Kelazhur, and there's not a whole lot to stop this except a group of Marines that do stem forward and take out a couple of the Vikings. Another one gonna die here, possibly. 4th base under assault. Can Kelazhur save it? It's 176 to 102 total supply. Kelazhur continuing to make medevacs and continuing to make Marines, but that army supply is 132 to 270, and he's going for it. He's moving his tanks forward, but the tank count for MajOr, there's just too many. The split and the spread of the tanks is excellent. There's no one angle in which to attack them. Anywhere they go, it's a nice concave by Major. He's got his Marines, he's got his medevacs here, flying tanks. Kelazhur needs to make a move now. He needs to expand, or he needs to have a crushing victory, because Major's up by almost 100 supply right now. Oh, Kelazhur, come on, man. You can make a move. I believe in you. 5th base flying out for Major to the top right. If he can get that established, that's going to be it for Kelazhur. It really is. Oh, Major actually abandons his position on the low ground here outside the 4th base, so Kelazhur swoops right in, takes the high ground, thereby making it much, much more difficult for Major to deal with. So I wonder if Major's pulling into more of a defensive turtling play. If that will work, I don't know. Small group of Marines does come in here for Kelazhur, but getting absolutely melted. All but one of the Marines is taken down by the tanks here for Major. Wow, single Marine is left off at the natural base of Major, trying to kill a missile turret all by his lonesome. Major pushing up the ramp with his Marine count and his tanks, reestablishing that low ground. They want to get that planetary fortress. Can they get it? The Marines are dying. 14, 16 kills on that planetary fortress. Needs to allow the tanks to do it, as the SCVs are doing a mass repair here. A tank defending from Kelazhur as well. Can he get the PF? It is down to 59 hit points, and that's it. The planetary fortress falls for Kelazhur. He is down to 1 command center. Nothing mining from it whatsoever. Vikings sniping down medevacs in the sky. Major up 152 to 72 total supply. SCVs pulling in for the final assault. Marines behind it. Tanks as well. Everything is dead though, and Kelazhur with the GG. Kelazhur is defeated, and Major is victorious today. What an amazing, amazing TVT. That's one of the better TVTs with Marine tank I've ever seen on my channel. That was good. Just constant harassment, a lot of dead stuff, man. 31,000 resources lost for Kelazhur, 23,000 for Major. Major was in a bad spot. He was down a base to Kelazhur. He kept losing his 3rd. He kept losing workers at his 3rd. 27 workers killed by Kelazhur, 58 by Major. Most of those, I think, in that final battle. But he managed to come back just with good tank positioning, I thought. Had them in great positions. He had the Viking count. I feel like he had more Vikings than Kelazhur throughout most of the game. Really killed a lot of medevacs. I wish I could see that count, how many medevacs actually died for Kelazhur, but I'm unfortunately on the wrong observer interface for that to be a case. So, either way to represent Major, gets the win against Kelazhur in our TVT, and that's it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin, coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button, hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook and Patreon, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself. Thanks again to my patrons, 19 Day, Nicholas Cheek, Sean Govin, Nick Riley, Josh Cornelius, Jin, Pedro Batsardas, Robert Farmer, KN, Keith Garlow, Matt Meermans, Hekon Marcus, Christopher, Alex Coffey, Ben Raboin, Alexandros Konardis, Michael Wellen, Plaid, Complex, Clayton Knight, Ian Westbrook, Michael McIntosh, Jan Kodera, Bo Brissett, Kale Anderson, Pushpak Eledu, Trevor Smith, Men Haidayan, Rajiv Bhatt, Bakberti, and Sikopatara. All right. Thank you so much again. Link at the top right, and goodbye.